We'll call the November meeting of Batavia Township to order. Clerk call the roll.
Natalia?
Here.
Donnet?
Here.
West?
Here.
Anderson?
Here.
Tracy?
Here.
Okay, for the benefit of you watching on television, we will take time now to check the bills for October and the accounts for September and October. Those September ones there,
Yeah?
that's the part of your packet that you were missing in September.
We'll work on this one.
Okay.
That's all right.
Did you pay those in? Huh? And did you pay those in $945 out of your pocket?
Well, I needed to get the concrete poured.
Oh, I did not.
If we say no, you're screwed, huh?
And that's a September 30th. Let's see. Oh, this is GA. That's fine. I guess you do have that. Okay, so September. October. Yeah. Yeah, this was different colors, but we'll figure it out. Total. September. Alright, maybe we just gotta do this. So which one do you want? Let's take this one first.
Or it has the weapons.
3 items. Yeah, leave that one there. These, they're all together. We just gotta split them. 2 checks in this. Okay.
Just figure it out.
That one was a list. It's 3 items. Just be 3
We
checks.
actually gave the figures to the board of the whole meeting. Yeah, it's a percentage basis based on the amount of quality based on
Yes, and then there's just a transfer, so there should be 2 checks. 2 checks, good. Any balance? 133, 990, 92? Right. I got 133,391.91 cents. Cleared balance.
Keep in mind, Davis and nursing trousers on their exception, so then
We've got this one.
Blackberry,
Okay.
Sugar Grove,
Well, I
Big
have
Rock,
got license.
Virgil.
Is the 13th, right? Got it on 12, 13.
There's 7, I can pull it up. There's 7.
We'll get there. I got too many miles on me today.
All right.
There's one.
Your names.
There you are, sir.
And then E-T-T-E. The last name is Pearson, P-I-E-R.
Okay. Guess I'm ready.
4854,
Yep.
175,
Yes.
4855, 3257,
Yes.
4856, 3334, 59,
Yes.
4857, 54556,
Yes.
4858, 57120,
Yes.
4859, 16674,
Yes.
4860, 1705.
Yes. All right, let's go for the ending balance, $424,126.48.
Really?
Okay, so we've got all those. That's me.
And the new items. I get it.
That's where I'm at. Yeah, I was on taking the
ready.
5865, 474.30.
Yes.
5886 for 144.94.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
5887 for 240.64.
Yes.
5888 for 195.55.
Yes.
5889 for 202.92.
No, I haven't.
Yes.
5890 for 47,364.60.
Ooh, yes.
What's up with that?
5891 for 229.80. 5892 for 256.86.
Yes.
5893 for 116.92.
Yes.
They gotta have.
5895 59.08.
Yes.
5896 194.
Yes.
5897 2001
I'm going by conjecture on it.
balance of 510 51370.
Right? Yeah.
I got you.
That kind of black and white is very landing as a.
Okay, this one's for October now. General fund assessors. Okay.
4861 for 7,757.
Yep.
4862 for 7625.
Yes.
4863 for 3,583.21.
Yes.
4864 for 240.
Yes.
4865 for 255.39.
Yes.
4866 for 1,142.40.
Yes.
4867 for 3,257.
Yes.
4868 for 131.18.
Yes.
4869 for 175.
Yes.
4870 for 2,236.
Yes.
4871 for that 7,757.
Yes.
4873 for
211.
Well, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
ending balance of 528, 248.05.
Yes.
He's helping me get the word out.
That's good. And I noticed that the city of
I
Yeah,
did grab
When
it.
it's doing somebody's name that has what they use, which of course will, Murphy's Law says will happen, you know, within the next week.
CHAL.
No, I haven't seen
Is that what you're talking about?
The September.
Okay.
Need your signature.
And I live
I need
on
my signature.
No, I don't want it, but if you want one, you can take it, otherwise.
Yeah, chopper with it.
And do my signature.
All right, what do we got here? Road fund.
Did I miss one?
Okay.
5894 for 4624.
Yes.
Lord almighty.
58 for 4,218.
My hands won't stop.
Yes.
5899 for 2969.
Yes.
5900 for 380.
Why he's here.
Yes.
5901 for 199.63.
Yes.
5902 for 229.80.
Yes.
5903 for 243.74.
Yes.
5904 for 1,008.44.
Yes.
5905 19,982.
Yes.
5906 117.31.
Yes.
5907 211.17.
Yes.
5908 1,328.80.
Yes.
5909 47 cents. 5910 2,877.33.
Yes.
5911 783.
Yes.
5912 4,218.
Yes.
5913 2287.
Yes.
Ending balance of 541.96 and 10 cents.
Good. I got them separated by months. Okay, GA, October.
5059 60238.
Yes.
Ending balance of 133 394.75.
Yes.
Signature?
Okay, here, take this. Thank you.
I thought this, I thought this was over our amount. I'm just asking.
What is it? What are you asking?
It's GA.
Yeah.
Is that over our amount?
No, that's to,
Okay.
Albertsons is, fuel.
We get a lot of, I mean, we're running close. We don't go. We're getting good. These cars are Part of it's a very good, it's good movement. Are you,
I'm just north, or, yeah, north of the high school. But
okay.
Three extra trucks.
Yeah.
So there's a neighborhood right there, and I'm just
Yeah, that's a friend, I have a friend, she's more in Western Paper, she's in Western.
yeah.
We actually met the first, go along there, leaving the boat.
Well, 97, I mean, and now we are in the lot work business. It's just,
Where are we gonna go? I got that like Sunday. She's coming in on years
I don't think it's in July. But Tennessee, I'm down with that.
She's 20 minutes.
For camera, must be first.
It's a stressful job, you can see.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval of minutes from October.
So moved. Second.
Bertalmio?
Aye.
Donnet? West?
Aye.
Tracy? Aye. Anderson?
Aye. And entertain a motion for approval of accounts from September and October, and the bills from October.
So moved.
Second.
Bertalmio?
Aye.
Donnet?
Aye.
Tracy? Aye. West?
Aye.
Anderson?
Aye. No assessor here tonight, so we don't have a report. Road Commissioner, Chris, do you have anything?
The only thing we've got is we're busy picking up leaves. We'll make we'll make a round around everything by the end of the week, and so next week is the last week for pickup. So get them out this weekend. You got great weather. That will mean we've been around everybody 6 times.
Okay.
So it's going good. Today was rough with the snow. It kept freezing things up, but they got through it. So it's been good. Good year for it.
All right, thanks. Under old business, is there any questions about the tax levies?
It looks like there's just a small increase in both the road commission and the general township fund. Most of the general township fund, it looks like, is the 708
And mosquito.
and mosquito. Okay.
Did you mention the road district?
Well, I mentioned the road district.
There is no increase.
There is no increase?
No.
Well, it looks like that last year it was 442,475, and we're now 442,750, right? Or not?
You got last year's?
Well, I'm going to look at last year's here. Well, there's the tax levy. There's the road, 442,475, right?
Yeah.
And you have the permanent road is 442,750. So it
Well,
looks
I'll be
like-
darned. Went down $25.
How about that?
Thanks for checking, though. Thanks for checking, Lee. Appreciate that.
It went up.
Went up.
It went up a few bucks.
475?
475 to 750, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I understand.
thanks for checking, Lee.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I'm just checking her. That's fine. But that's fine. These are minuscule increases. Really.
$300, yeah.
It's like 0.01%.
That's, yeah. I just point out that the township tax levy is probably about 2% of the total tax bill
Right.
for those people in the township.
It's not that much. It's like 1.6%
It's 1.6%. Obviously, the school.
for the whole township and the road district.
For the whole township, so, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Now I'll entertain a motion for passage of the general fund.
I
levy.
will move approval of the general fund tax levy.
Second.
Bartholomew.
Aye.
Donnet. Tracy.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye. And I'll entertain a motion for the tax levy for the highway department.
So moved.
Second.
Bartholomew.
Aye.
Donnet. Tracy.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Anderson.
Yes. Okay, does anybody like to make a comment on the conference? I put it down, and if you don't have anything right now, seeing that we just got back, I just put it down, so if you wanted to say something,
I'll say something.
go.
Well, since it's fresh in our mind, we just got back, I think they had some better sessions this time, for me anyway, as a trustee, I got to go and spend a little time on, and listen to, more of how my job's supposed to be, or what my job is, and what I'm supposed to do on the board, so, and on occasion I'll have people ask me, well, what do you do? So, that was part of it, and the networking and meeting other people down there. I got to talk to a former state senator about just some general things, so I thought it was good. It was a good experience. Thank you.
Anybody else? I just will say one little thing about the attest signatures. I went both to the legislative session and to the Ask Attorney session, and there's quite a few things that are somewhat unanswered. So I'm not going to do anything about a name stamp or anything, at least until next month. So we still have 2 months.
Yeah, to clarify, there's a new state statute that has been passed, which asks for the county clerk, or the township clerk, to attest to payments of bills.
Yeah.
And the whole question of how this is to be done is still somewhat up in the air.
It was pretty, I just read the legislative report in the magazine that we just got, and he clarified it quite a bit, and also he did the presentation down there in the legislative session. And we discussed it for about half an hour, and like I said, there's some unanswered questions, and so I'll bring it up again next month, and we'd like to go in depth a little bit more. Okay? All right. Public participation, I guess. Lee, would you like to introduce your guest?
Yeah, this is great. I'd like to introduce Rick Pumo and also Annette Pearson, both representing the Batavia United Way. And this is regarding the 211 program, so that in addition to dialing 911 for emergency use, you can now dial 211 for a whole host of other things. So let me turn it over to Rick to explain what this is all about.
Great. Thank you very much for inviting us.
Good.
And we're excited to share this information with you on 211, which just went live on November 1st. This all started in response to a meeting that Lauren Newman called back in February, shortly after the Parkland school shootings. There was quite a bit of hysteria going on in public media, social media, and we had our own little scare here in Batavia. And the question was, what can we do to help residents to feel safer in Batavia? And it was at that time that Melinda Kintz from the Batavia United Way, she's our executive director, proposed that we consider a 211 option for people to have in addition to 911. 211 addresses any concern that you have. So that concern can be something like, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make my utility bill payment this month. My lights may be turned off. I may not make my rent payment. I may not be able to afford my insulin this month, and I'm not sure where to go. And the fact is, there are 1,000 plus social services available to Kane County residents. We should feel safe. We're fortunate to live where we live. The challenge is, when you're in a crisis, how do you find the right social service when there are 1,000 to choose from? Even if there were a directory, it would be very difficult to know which is the right place to go. So 211 provides a 24/7 hotline for people to call, describe their concern, and there's a trained agent ready to match that person with the appropriate social service. So I'm fortunate in that I get to participate in this project. Melinda Kintz really has been the champion from the start. And we're very fortunate to be able to hire Annette Pearson here, whose job it will be for the next 6 months to specifically focus on getting the word out on 211. So one of the things that we've done at the United Way is we created a public service announcement video, and I was hoping to share that with you tonight. I'll just go over here and...
This is the star.
Oh, that's right. I am a major TV personality now.
Yes, yeah. Cool.
United Ways of Kane County are so happy to announce the availability of 211, the number to call when you're not sure who to call.
Kane County 211, how can I help you?
211 agents work the most comprehensive database in Kane County to identify the most appropriate resource for you. From healthcare to elder care, to employment resources, to legal assistance, and so much more, there's a trained professional ready to connect you with the most appropriate social service.
I took a call recently about a lady that needed help getting some bills paid, and we gave her a few referrals about that and got her set on the right path, got her a little bit of emotional validation, just not feeling crazy about it. So it was really nice to be able to be that support for her and give her the resources she was really looking for.
We're very excited about the 211 service. It will help all of our students and families with their social and emotional needs. There are times when a family just needs help, when a student just needs somebody to call and find out what agency they can go to get the help they need. It could be to intervene in a bullying situation. It could be to help them with a gang situation. It could be a domestic violence situation, or it could be a financial situation. 211 is a service that can provide the help immediately to those families and those students, and our schools are very excited to be able to say we now have 211 in Kane County.
Well, just today we did a follow-up call. We like to check and see how things are going for everyone. And the person we called back needed help with their rent and utilities. They were able to get help with both of those, and they felt a lot better about things, a lot less stressed, and that just made me feel good knowing that we were able to get them the help that they needed.
The United Way would like to thank Kane County Schools, Kane County government, and the Community Foundation of the Fox River Valley for their contributions. Thanks to your support, Kane County 211 will be able to answer every call from every person every single day.
Being able to get a hold of people, being part of the process before little problems become big problems. That's really the opportunity here, to affect outcomes, to intervene with somebody who needs their medicine before they show up in the ER as a stroke victim, to be able to intervene with somebody before they get stressed out and make a critical error in judgment. So 211, we're hoping, will take down the demand on 911. And it does already, immediately, especially in times of natural disasters. If there's a tornado, if there's any kind of flooding, people call 911 and say, okay, my home is destroyed, where do I go? 911 right now takes those calls, but immediately now that 211's available, they simply redirect people to the 211 center. And that allows them to respond to the people that are injured as a result of the natural disaster. 211 takes over on logistics. The funding we mentioned, Kane County Schools, first school to take interest, Tony Inglese here in Batavia brought this idea to the other finance managers from the other school districts, and they immediately recognized the value. They said, hey, we are acting as 211 in many cases. This is a huge demand on our own resources. It would be wonderful to have this service available. So they were the first organization to step up and say, we would contribute. We would make funding possible in part if you find other people. Kane County government also stepped in. Community Foundation of the Fox River Valley has provided all of the marketing funding that we need over the next 3 years, along with the Dunham Fund, who also was able to come up with a contribution towards the end. So we're looking good, but no matter how much money you have, what you need is help getting the word out. And that's what we were hoping to do tonight, is to share this with you, welcome your ideas on where to go to be effective in getting the word out to high-risk populations in Kane County. We welcome your participation in getting the word out. We can provide you with a link so that you can order materials. I brought some. Lee actually has his own, I noticed, but
I have.
I brought a few slicks for you just to take a look at. One side is English, the other side is Spanish. But if anybody has any ideas, if anybody has any contacts and they'd like someone to come and present, please let us know. Does anybody have any questions about the service?
First of all, thanks for presenting. I like what you're trying to achieve with this. I noticed toward the beginning of the video, it looked like in the background there was like a smartphone with the 211 kind of slash across there. Is there an app function to this? And if so, does it allow a chat as well, or is it strictly only a phone call, like voice to voice?
It's voice to voice right now. I don't know of a chat function as of yet.
either.
It's a good question,
That is
though.
a good question.
You know, but given the culture of the time,
I mean, I can see
Texting's a great
certainly
idea.
the culture thing, and also just in certain instances, people who might be hard of hearing and whatnot, the texting just seems a little bit easier for them.
that's a great idea.
I'll just add something. We as townships are basically referral agents also, because we are so limited by the state of the help that we can give people. We are constantly referring our clients that we're unable to help to specific different agencies. The difference is we give them a phone number to call. And from what I understand, when they call you or 211, they are directed to an agency rather than just given a phone number.
Right, depending on how critical the situation is, it can be a warm transfer, and sometimes it is a phone number, but you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
If they call 911, do they get transferred to 211, or do they have to hang up and call back on 211?
In some cases, for instance, the natural disaster scenario that I outlined, it would be a warm transfer to 211. But it's a quick call for 911 then, not draining 911 resources.
Anybody else?
I can just add that if you go to the City of Batavia website, this same video is available. And you've made a presentation to the City Council.
Correct.
And on BATV, I think it's going to, the information is going to appear regularly in some place.
And Annette was telling me they just posted it on the Batavia Public Schools
Yeah,
website.
on Facebook,
right?
I've seen the Batavia Public Schools have put a link to the video, and Glancer Magazine also had it.
All right.
All on Facebook, so all on social media.
All right.
How many calls have you got?
Oh, I don't have any data on calls so far. We would expect very low call volume in the first year. This is now all about awareness, but first couple of months, you wouldn't expect much. I know we're getting call volume. I just don't think it's anywhere close to what the norm will be.
How many operators do you have answering?
That's a good question. I don't have the exact number at any given time. I don't know what the peak hours are for 211. This is an accredited call center for 211 services based out of Bloomington called PATH. So the good news about being in Bloomington is you have access to the university and you get lots of volunteer help to train, so it helps keep costs manageable, but gives you a large pool of people. They don't all come in to a call center, so these are people that are sitting on their phones sometimes in a home office, just ready to answer a call, and the calls are all distributed.
As your volume goes up, does the cost go up with something like this?
The contract is lower in the first year, and then it gradually goes up to, I believe, it goes from 60,000 year one, and eventually by year three goes to 75,000 for the PATH services alone.
Oh.
And then you need marketing materials, absolutely.
I was a volunteer office girl for suicide prevention for about a year, and this is similar to that, but things are not very predictable. And it's just like our general assistant clients here. It's very difficult to predict. You'd think during the winter you'd get more clients in general assistance. That's not necessarily the case. But even here, there's nothing really to be able to predict that seasonal or whatever, it just happens when it happens.
It's very true. One other point that I forgot to make is that this is anonymous. So when you call, there's no background check to find out who you are or where you're from. You describe the problem and someone matches you. You know, what determines whether or not you get help is where your home is, right? Your zip code. So one of the challenges that we can have is there are people that simply don't want to call attention to themselves by seeking help, and so they get further and further into trouble because they're trying to remain anonymous and under the radar, and 211 is not a risk, and that's part of the communication that I think we need to be consistent with. To the extent you can share that, that's great. Even when it comes to medical help, we've got a great clinic in St. Charles, right? Tri-City Health Partnership. That is not government funded in any way. That is completely anonymous. So it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. If you need insulin, you get insulin. And no one is ever going to look into your background. So that is just all about, you're a person, you deserve medical treatment. We're trying to keep people out of the emergency room. We're trying to keep our population healthy.
What other counties have implemented this in the area?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know by name. Do you know?
I don't know by name. I know that most of them are south. Okay. So down closer to the Bloomington area. I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the early statistics that I saw on this was that Illinois was one of the last, there's only 1 or 2 states that don't have what they consider to be full participation in 211, which I believe is 90%.
It's 94% coverage in the U.S. For 211. Illinois and Arkansas are not pulling their weight with 211. The 211 line was approved for 211 use by our state government, but there was no funding put behind it. So it's up to each individual county. We're the largest implementation of 211 in Illinois. Cook County doesn't have a plan to implement it at this time. Lake County does have a plan to implement it. So, yeah.
So when you call, you have to identify your zip code to the operator?
Right. You know, it's more of a complicated process than even we had anticipated because there are so many different carriers for your phone. There's so many ways to make a phone call, including voice over IP. So it's hard to get all the carriers to make 211 available. For instance, I have an UMA box at home for my home phone number, right? It's $4.35 a month. So, I'm thrilled, but they don't support 211, so I can't call that number from my house. AT&T, Verizon, all the major carriers seem to be getting on board now, and I think we're doing all right. Yeah, I think we're doing all right. But what I did not know is there are over 100 different carriers. I couldn't name 5, but there are. So making 211 available is not ubiquitously across carriers not as easy, but there is a 1-800 number that people can call as well. And the real trick is to make a landing page so popular for 211 that it's the first thing people see if they Google 211. And then they can find the 1-800 number, or more likely just see a button that they can say, call. It should be that easy.
There's I don't know if it's been on, Kane County Connects, which is the daily county newsletter, but that would be an important place to put it on if it hasn't been. I don't remember seeing it on Kane County Connects.
Great.
That's a free subscription to anybody.
Wonderful.
So,
thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Lee, for the invitation.
Anybody have anything else? Okay, the next meeting will be December 11th, right here at 7 o'clock. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Okay.
Tracy? I'm sorry, I'm trying to type. Bertalmio?
Aye.
Donnet? Aye. Tracy?
Aye.
West?
Aye.
Anderson?
Aye.
at 7:40.
Thank you. See you next month.
Bye-bye, viewers.